Well, that's all of it. I can't recall any more details of my dream.
I never did understand why ducks wanted to be stationed in MorrowVille, rather than Silver Hearth or Port Minto in the east. I figured the town held some sort of sentimental value to ducks, but in hindsight, maybe he was protecting something there.
Platt, I suspect the man you heard in your dream is indeed Harkin, but I'm worried that this is some sort of trap being set by the bandits and haunts to draw us to MorrowVille. It's awfully suspicious that all of a sudden you have a dream with your wife that you haven't seen for years, just as we're beginning to attack bases in the area.
I know, perhaps I'm just imagining it. Maybe I just don't want to lose hope that she's still out there.
That may be the case, but we need to do something, and perhaps this is the best way to draw Harkin out. At least without strong forces we'll be able to take him, and whatever trap they may be setting for us.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the 18th episode of the Medieval Rimworld series. We have no time to waste today as we plan for heading out to MorrowVille very shortly. But while we wait, there are a couple of projects I want to give some attention to around the hold, one of them being this room, which, with a bit of editing magic, is now designed. This room is one of the ones in our new mages/wizards complex, towers, whatever we're calling it. But this one specifically will be reserved for the Archmage, so they can be close to everything magical that's done here, watching over all the other wizards and witches with a close eye. And of course, this position will go to Ernest, whose magic has saved us on more than a few occasions during this playthrough. He's also been teaching our other magic users how to improve their skills in their own disciplines. This is quite the upgrade for Ernest as well, as it sure beats the room he's had since moving here to Morgan's Hold. This one still has the animal beds from his two bears that have long since passed away. Next up, we will turn our focus to the last large room in the castle that needs interior design, that being the dining room, which would fit out with tables and noble chairs. Now, I may have been interrupted by some mad boom rats during construction, which stopped my time lapse, but you can still see the finished product is nothing incredible. However, it will give our people a great place to eat. And while all this work was going on, our researchers were hard at work on arcane fundamentals research, as we want plenty of production benches and other magical items to put into the Wizards complex when it's finished. We would complete this initial project while working on the dining room as well. I was then alerted that Nora's pregnancy is coming to an end, with her husband and son gathering for the birth. Dux might have hidden behind the divider a little bit out of respect for his mother, since, she's giving birth. And today, when it was all said and done, she would bring a gorgeous baby girl into this world, who I will once again need a name for, so if you have one, please leave it in the comments section down below. Any ideas are helpful. But while we're talking about babies and names, I decided to give Ryo and Herring's son the name Alexander, from commenter The Iron Khan. This was my favorite of the name suggestions that I got for this baby, and some of you guys seem to agree with that, as multiple people also like this comment and seem to want this name. I did decide to give it a little bit of a nickname, going with Xander. If you guys want it to specifically be Alexander, let me know down below and I'll change it back. I also think some cool lore for this is that maybe Herring had heard of the original Alexander the Great from back on Earth, as Ryo probably wouldn't know about this, but Herring, being from space, might know about this ancient legend. Moving on, it appears that Ginger and Zetus, who is our Thromboian town guard that we recruited last episode off camera, have fallen in love. And with all the new babies we've been getting, I'm wondering what a Velenor/Thrombo baby looks like. I suppose that'll have to wait though, as before our heroes set out on the journey to MorrowVille tomorrow, Ryo and Lydia are giving speeches to mark the occasion, where Ryo would thank everybody for what they've built over the last 10 years, with all of the help they've given, while Lydia would speak about how soon the Templar nation would reform as we unite together against our enemies. Once the speeches were finished, everybody would leave the hall, joining for drinks and hearty meals before going off to bed. The next day, our group was off, and I should mention here that the people from our colony that we included are Danders, Edmund, Duplat, Zetus, Valor, and Ryo. I also meant to include Dux, but I forgot to add him to the caravan. Oh well. We would arrive on the outskirts of MorrowVille a few days later, approaching the city with apprehension. Anyone or anything could be waiting for us inside, so as everyone prepared, Danders would speak to Ryo for a few moments.
I left here 10 years ago to find you as Dux's last request to me. Whatever happens today, know how proud he must be watching you, Nora and Valor, the cause you started, the children you've brought into the world, and the values you hold. He would be proud of all of them, as am I. I'm proud to have played a part in your training. Now, we do this for Dux.
Thank you, Danders. That means a lot to me. You and Dux have been like fathers to me. For Dux.
Everyone would brace as they entered the city, but in an anticlimactic turn, it appears to be empty. Where is the trap that was set for us that we were expecting? There's no time to think about that for now. Lydia and her guards would get to work setting up a camp in the town centre, while our core group would gather at the gates of the castle section of the town, where Danders would quickly provide a description of the interior. That way we can watch each other's backs, as we may face any sort of foes inside. Drawing our weapons, we would enter, keeping an eye on every angle an enemy could attack from, only to find that once again, nobody lurks in the shadows. Only a silver sarcophagus sits where the Lord's chair once was. Danders already know who was inside, and after a couple of moments, he and Ryo would approach, cracking the lid together, both taking a small peek inside, confirming it was indeed Dux and Nand that rested here. We all knew who was gone. It was still very sad that it was truly confirmed now. We'll have to break the news to Nora when we return. With so many questions on all of our minds, Ryo would go about searching the castle while Danders found another old friend of his, Trophim, who he would go about burying, all the while wondering where the silver sarcophagus had come from and what our purpose is in being here. Once the entire castle had been checked, the last room to look in was the Lord's room, the last place Dux had slept before he died. If anyone hides here, this is where they would be. So together we would enter, to once again see nobody. Lydia would come in and have a small chat with us, letting us know Dux will be honoured as a war hero when our kingdom is once again united. As will our fallen soldiers, who are to be buried here for the time being. Although we don't know these brave men, they fought for us, for their families, and for our families as well. They deserve all of our respect. And as the sun went down, all was quiet in MorrowVille. And in the peace and quiet, Danders would go to visit his greatest friend, as everybody else slept.
I miss you, old friend. You'd be so proud of your daughter if you could see her now. You have a beautiful grandson and granddaughter. He's named after you, and I'm sure he'll be a leader just as you were. And she has your eyes. As for Ryo, he'll fulfill your plans. We will bring about a better kingdom for our people.
Danders, let me speak. There's no need to draw your weapon. First of all, you should know that I built that tomb for Dux, out of respect. Despite what you may believe, I take no pleasure in killing true Templar knights, like yourself, Dux, Ryo, or any of the group you formed over the past 10 years.
Then why attack us? Why kill so many of us? What could you possibly hope to achieve? Is it revenge you seek? Or simply chaos?
Perhaps revenge is the best answer. You really had to be there to understand, though. Did you ever wonder why Dux brought you here? It's not something I would expect him to tell you. This is where it began for him and I. He knew I would come here. That's why you were here 10 years ago. Now, Danders, I will not desecrate you once you pass on. I will allow your people to bury you with dignity, as is the way of the Templar Knights. Now, rest easy. May peace be with your spirit.
It seems that Leo has come into the castle looking for a midnight snack, or perhaps he's prone to sleepwalking. Either way, Harkon is coming for him, meeting him in a defensive tower, stabbing him through the stomach, knocking him down before continuously stabbing him, lighting him on fire as well with his blade. Before long, Leo would die. It's crazy how easy that was for Harkon to kill one of our greatest warriors. The next morning, Ryo and Edmund would go to check on Dux' coffin, while Mike was heading in for some breakfast. Ryo and Edmund would make the discovery of Danders lying on the floor. He was hurt, but he could still speak.
Ryo, Edmund, you must both see Molt again. I've been sending letters to him since we met him. He has some things for Nora and Valor that Dux left for them. Send him a message. He is our greatest source of knowledge. He will take my place in our group. Please, bury me with Dux. If you find Lady Julie or my beloved Ida, bring them to visit our bodies, or have us buried with them in the Anand Citadel. I love you both like sons. You will make our kingdom proud. God bless you both.
Ryo and Edmund would stay by Danders' side, comforting him for some time. He was in a lot of pain, but they were there for him right till the end, sitting with him as his soul drifted into the afterlife. Meanwhile, Mike during his walk could smell blood from the tower. Entering, he would find Leo's remains. While inspecting, Harkon would appear, attacking him, managing to best one of the guards of our crown princess with only little scratches to his armor. We're only beginning to see what he is truly capable of, and it is quite scary. As Harkon was stabbing Mike, Valor, who wasn't far behind him, heard the sound of metal on metal, causing Harkon to run, as he would hear somebody coming. When Valor burst into the room, Mike would tell him that it's already too late for him, and that Valor should chase after Harkon, while Zetus would come in and attempt to tend to him. Unfortunately, he was unable to save him in time. So much blood has been spilt today. We will need to reconsider our approach to defeating Harkon. Valor would also have no luck, losing Harkon down what he suspected to be a tunnel under the castle. Seeing what Harkon is capable of, he was smart enough not to proceed, rather returning to the group that had been formed in the courtyard, where they collectively decided the best course of action was to stay together. Nobody is to be on their own from now on, and they will take the bodies and return to Morgan's Hold for now. But as they returned to camp, Harkon was already waiting.
Welcome back, all of you. First of all, I am sorry that Danders had to die today. No more bloodshed is necessary, so please put away your weapons. I would hate to have to take another life. As I told him, I take no pleasure in killing true Templars. Ryo, Valor, Edmund, Platt. Yes, I know all of you. Be very careful with the treacherous Caldwell, and consider, would the Templars reforming under her truly be a good thing? After her pathetic father...
You murderous demon, how dare you speak of me and my father in that way? Yotrick, kill him.
I'll see you all soon.
Tension was in the air of MorrowVille after Harkon's words. Lydia will surely be answering some questions on the way back home. But for now, we will gather the dead, so that we can give them their proper respects. But to do so, we'll need to move Dux back to Morgan's Hold. So after Ryo had said a couple of words, he would remove his body carefully, preventing any damage to his bones or armor, before leaving the room to prepare it for the journey back home. They would bring Danders along as well. Everyone was silent during this process, grieving the loss of our friends, even Kryos, who would be comforted by Apostus. But since it's late, we'll be staying here for one more night. Duplat has taken up his guard duty by the fire.
Thank you for bringing everyone here, Platt. I no longer need Midori's services. You may take her back.
Wait. Why not have a band of your men charge us in our sleep? Or ambush us in the city? You could have killed us all. Is that not what you want?
I'm not ready to disclose that sort of information to you. You still have much to learn, Ryo Morgan. Say hello to Galera and Milteg for me.
As Harkon left, everybody would comfort Midori and Duplat, who had embraced one another. And after some time of talking and catching up, everybody would return to sleep. But Ryo would stay awake, pondering. Malt's words ran through his mind.
I want you to begin paying close attention to the actions, words, and body language of other leaders when you meet. See, your resistance needs to be more than simply one of the sword. It must become one of the mind as well.
He decided he would begin reaching out to other leaders across the planet, hoping that through building relations, he could begin to unravel the mystery this bandit laid out in such an elegant way for somebody we had thought to be only a savage murderer. But with that, I'm going to be ending the episode for today. It was more of a plot-based episode, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making this one. It was a lot of fun for me. There's a lot of story to unpack in the final episodes of the series, so I hope to see you all there. But for now, goodbye.